All right, 2026 post Senior Bowl mock draft. This is my third time sitting on to record this video. First time I accidentally hit stop recording. The second time I forgot to hit recording. So here we are. Just some footnotes. This will be a predictive mock draft. If a team does not have a head coach yet, Cardinals. I'm just gonna pick BPA because I have no idea who's gonna run that team. I mean, if I knew who they were hiring, it could influence maybe a position where, oh, maybe I want this guy instead of this guy. He's a bit of a better scheme fit for his defense or offense, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever. I'm gonna start. Fernando Mendoza 1. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion. The draft starts at 2. There's really a 3-way at pause. Like a 3-man race at number 2. Freaky ass number 2 pick. Between Bain, Bailey, and Reese in that order, in my opinion. Jets, they have 2 good edge rushers already in Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald. Jesus, it's so cold in Florida. I hate it. I think it'll be Ruben Bain. I think the short arm thing is like ridiculous. I'm watching tape, and he's fucking insane. Like, he is dominant. I mean, when you don't have someone chirping in your ear telling you he has like what sub 30-inch arms, so do I. I don't give a shit. Like, if he can ball, he can ball. Like, I don't care if you throw him out there with no fucking arms. Like, if you see Hansel Emmanuel, like, this guy goes out there and balls with no arms. I don't give a shit. Like, he's a baller. I don't care. If he can ball, draft him number 2. He's the best defensive player in this draft. Like, let's not overthink this. Cardinals at 3. Arvell Reese, David Bailey. Like I said earlier, I prefaced the video with this. I'm going to take BPA. I'm going to take the guy who fits the most schemes, the more generic guy. And that's David Bailey. He's a top edge rush prospect. Best get off we've seen in a couple of years, I feel like, at the edge position. Great pass rusher. And, I mean, the traits are there. He is going to light up the underwear Olympics at the combine. He's going to run an insane 40. He'll probably have a pretty good 3-cone too. Probably going to jump very high as well. If you guys saw in the Oregon game where he jumped up and batted that pass, he's built like a damn NBA wing defender. Like, he's huge. He can get up there. Like, if there was an NFL dunk contest, I'd put my money on David Bailey for sure. Well, I don't know. I mean, Puka can dunk. Maybe I'd put it on Puka. I don't know. Let me stop fucking rambling. Titans at 4. I mean, Arvell Reese is just, you're staring down the barrel of Arvell Reese. Pause. Barrel as in gun, not other barrel. They hired Robert Saleh. I mean, you could go like Jeremiah Love, Jordan Tyson, draft the receiver, but I think that's dumb. Honestly. I think if you see Arvell Reese here, you're happy. I mean, you'd be happier if the Cardinals took someone like Francis Mauigoa or Spencer Fano at 3, and you could pick between Reese and Bailey, which, if there's a choice, you'd probably take Bailey. But Robert Saleh's done a phenomenal job with linebackers throughout his career. Coached up Fred Warner early in his career. Came back to Stanford in this past year. D. Winters has a phenomenal year. Maybe not phenomenal, but he had a pretty good year for a 6th-round pick. Undersized 6th-round linebacker who's fast as shit. I'm taking Arvell Reese. I mean, there's really, in my opinion, there's no other pick there. Robert Saleh's calling the plays again defensively. I mean, it's kind of what went wrong with the Jets. It's a really funny quote he had. He was like, yeah, I had the best seat for a fan ever, or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. Go look it up. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. The Giants. Here, I mean, you could go Caleb Downs. I mean, let's be honest. Caleb Downs is the best safety in this draft class. No ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, if Harbaugh wants his kind of like nickel box, split high, like weapon nickel player, he could take Caleb Downs, but I think 5 is too rich for Caleb Downs. And that's not saying Caleb Downs sucks or anything like that. He's phenomenal. I mean, pound for pound, probably a top 5 player in this draft class. Behind Bain, Bailey, Reese, and Jeremiah Love. But the NFL draft, as much as we like to say it is not about positional value, it is about positional value. If it was not about positional value, Fernando Mendoza would not be going number 1 overall. It would be Bain or Downs or Bailey, Reese, Love. One of those guys is number 1 overall. So the positional value thing, as much as we don't like it, it is true. And that's why I have them taking Jordan Tyson. I think if medical's clear and he's good, like clean bill of health, hire a doctor that will clear him, is what I'm saying if we were the Giants. Or any team wanted to take him. But I think maybe you think of Downs or Marioa. I think that's how you say his last name. If not, I mean, fuck it, whatever. It's too late now. But yeah, I think Jordan Tyson's a great compliment to Malik Neighbors when he's healthy. I mean, you put Neighbors at the Z, Tyson at the X, re-sign Wandale. That's a phenomenal receiver duo or trio. It's 3 players. Yeah, trio. I mean, Jackson Dart would have no excuses then. You return Scatterbo next year, Tyrone Tracy next year, a decent tight end room, kind of 2 young guys who are good athletes. The O-line could stand to improve, but you have free agency for that. So, I think if the Giants address O-line through free agency, you get Jordan Tyson, you're really happy with that. Speaking of a team who needs to address the O-line, the Cleveland Browns. What the hell are they doing? Like, I genuinely don't know what they're doing on the offensive line. And that is precisely why I have them taking Francis Mauigoa. Listen, I understand Carnell Tate is the flashy new Choi. But Francis Mauigoa is very consistent, can play your right tackle position, and solidifies one spot on your O-line. And I think that right now is more important to the Browns than Carnell Tate. I think they have a pick at 24. The drop-off from Mauigoa to... Let's check the OT board real quick. The drop-off from Mauigoa to a guy who would be available at 26, like Freeling or Proctor, right? That's a huge drop-off, I think. I think Mauigoa is phenomenal. So that's why I have him going 6. There's a bigger drop-off between Mauigoa and Freeling or Proctor than there is Carnell Tate to like Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston. In my opinion, I think this receiver class is loaded. The Commanders. I like 3 players here for them. Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Jamal McCoy. We've had the Caleb Downs discussion already. I think that 7 is a better range for Caleb Downs, but I can't see myself taking Sonny Styles top 7 or top 10. Styles is by far the best linebacker in this draft and one of the better linebacking prospects we've seen maybe in the past 2 years or so. But I think Jamal McCoy is the correct choice here. Listen, Trey Amos, I think, is a number 2 corner in the league. Mikey Samer still, played valiantly on the outside, but he's not an outside corner. He will play his best ball in the NFL in the slot as a nickel corner. Jermod McCoy, what he showed on tape as a sophomore at Tennessee before tearing his ACL in the playoff last year, oh my God, he did not play like a sophomore. He played like an NFL player playing against college receivers. I mean, that's what it looked like. He looked like an NFL-ready player as a sophomore. And granted, he gets to participate at the combine, gets a clean bill of health, rehabs his ACL well. I mean, there's no corner who's put up better tape than him this year or even last year. I thought of the draft-eligible corners last year, he had the best tape too. So, I mean, it's a great pick for the Commanders. I mean, this is obviously with him and Tyson under the impression that their medical's clear. If they don't clear, I mean, obviously things change. Something like Will Johnson. Maybe he falls kind of like Will Johnson does the second round. Even though I doubt he falls that far. Because tape-wise, he put up great tape. Saints. We're going to have the Jeremiah Love conversation. We're going to have it with this pick and the next pick. And I don't think you guys are going to like the direction I go. I don't think Jeremiah Love makes sense to the Saints. I think the player that makes sense for the Saints is Carnell Tate. Now, personally, I like Mekhi Lemon better. But I think when you think about Mekhi Lemon, he succeeds as a Z or a slot receiver, which is just too redundant with Chris Olave. I think about who's the better complement receiver in this situation. And then Jeremiah Love, I mean, I get it, but who's playing the more valuable position or the less abundant position? Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Love? I think that Carnell Tate plays a more important position to the Saints football team. They don't have many great receivers beyond Chris Olave. I think they can find a running back, go sign a running back, something like that. I don't think they're pounding the table for a running back. And now here's for a team who kind of might be pounding the table for a running back, but I still won't have them taking Jeremiah Love. And that is purely a schematic thing or a personal preference with the running back room. And also, unlike the Raiders and Ashton Genty last year, there's just no team this year that just screams out they're going to take him. The Raiders, we kind of had the idea that, Genty would end up a Raider. In this draft, I think there's maybe one team that's getting a lot of mocks of Jeremiah Love later in the first round. But the Chiefs, I just don't think they take him. He's not their, downhill, strong, powerful, bruising running back that they like. Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, a lot of these guys who've stuck around on their football teams have been those more powerful running backs. And it's just a philosophical thing for Andy Reid and his offense. I mean, they had Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They drafted him in the first round. That didn't work. Maybe that puts a sour taste in their mouth. I doubt it. But I think the best pick here is Spencer Fano. I like Fano a lot. And I think the Chiefs don't really get the opportunity to pick this high this often. And you can flip that coin two ways. You could say the Chiefs never picked this high. You need to swing for the upside guy in Love, or take a super high upside defender like Downs or Styles or Mansour Lane or something like that, or even Peter Woods. Or you take a sure thing, this guy will be good and this guy will create a great young tackle duo between Josh Simmons and Spencer Fano. And that's personally where I choose to go. I think that Spencer Fano is a better draft pick here. Here's the Caleb Downs team, I think. Cincinnati Bengals. You are currently rostering Jordan Battle. At safety, you have Geno Stone, who's a free agent. I mean, let Geno Stone go and roll with Battle and Downs, or keep Geno Stone and play Downs in the slot, or play Dax Hill outside, and when you get into nickel packages, bump Dax Hill inside and play a different guy outside, rotate another guy outside. He brings so many things to the Bengals and allows them a lot of defensive versatility and freedom to play a lot of those secondary players wherever they want to play them. I did consider Peter Woods. I considered an edge player. But the Bengals have just spent so many first-round picks on their front four, I couldn't bring myself to do it again. And I mean, they spent two good draft picks. I want to say they spent a second round and a third round pick last year on Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight, who both just didn't really work out this year so far. So I think it would be a bad pick to take Sonny Styles at this point. Water break. When you gap this much, you're bound to take a few water breaks a video. The Dolphins, no to Jeremiah Love. Sonny Styles would be a cool pick, but it's not really a need. I mean, he's better than Tyrell Dodson, but it'd kind of be like a luxury pick. Be kind of the pick you'd make if the player we are going to take isn't there. Mekhi Lemon, I do like him. I just feel like he is too redundant with how Jalen Waddle wins. Now, don't make it twisted. Waddle is much better athlete than Mekhi Lemon. Mekhi Lemon also has much more dog than Waddle does. Lemon wins a lot more from the slot, but they both occupy that ZN slot spot. I don't think we need a receiver in the first round of the draft this year. I think we need a corner. Mansour Lane is a top 2 corner in this draft, obviously behind Jamal McCoy. I wouldn't argue with anyone who has Delane ahead of McCoy. I mean, unless they're saying that tape-wise, he's just straight up better, which I would disagree. But if you're saying, take Delane, McCoy, and the injury concern, I'd understand that. But don't say Delane's, just straight up better than McCoy. You'd be wrong, in my opinion. But I'm a Dolphins fan, and I'll tell you, I am not going to go through another year of watching fucking Storm Duck and Ethan Bonner get actual reps at corner. I mean, thank God we got Rasul Douglas and Jack Jones. Because, I mean, shit was wicked in the first 3 weeks of the season before those guys got up to speed and playing. It was actually bad. Moving on from my Dolphins rant. Apologies. The Cowboys. This one's pretty easy for me. I mean, really, it was between a guy like Cassius Howell or Peter Woods or Sonny Styles. And I said I couldn't see myself taking Sonny Styles in the top 7 or top 10 of this draft, but 12 seems fair. The Cowboys have a good front four. They could use another edge guy, but I think they may address that through free agency. They're in a weird cap spot, but, they got to get Pickens back, and I think they could take a swing or two in free agency at edge, maybe get one of the 2 of their guys back, and then draft someone, with pick 20. Um, the Rams here, I don't think they're Jeremiah Love spot. I saw someone mock that and I didn't really like it. I didn't mind their explanation for it. I think they had a good explanation. I just don't agree with it. Um, I think the Rams, corner wise, there's just no real corner here. There's no top tier tackle available. If maybe a guy like Fano was here, you take Fano. But I think there is no better landing spot for Ty Simpson than the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams were gifted a top 14 draft pick this year, and they're going to use that to select Ty Simpson. I can't tell you a better landing spot for a rookie quarterback than to go play with Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, a great O-line, Kyron Williams, and Blake Corum running the ball for you, the Rams defense behind you, and then Sean McVay coaching you directly. I mean, I don't know what Matthew Stafford will be next year. There's always this like back problem or injury, retirement concern or whatever the past like 2 years or so after he won the Super Bowl. I mean, you can't really go wrong. I mean, I was of the belief that if Ty Simpson declared, then he knew he was going to get drafted in the first round. And, you know, he's going to go in the first 20 picks. If he's not selected by 13, someone's trading up for him. The Rams don't take him. Someone's trading up to get him. Undoubtedly. I think that he will go in the top 15. Do I think he's a top 15 draft pick? Probably not, honestly. But he's a quarterback. Like we said earlier, positional value. It does exist. And the Ravens now up. This is a two-man race for me. Mekhi Lemon, Peter Woods. Like I've said a million times with Mekhi Lemon, it feels like this video. You can't build your offense around two sub 6 foot wide receivers, especially if you're the Ravens. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I really don't think it's the best choice here to take Mekhi Lemon. Mekhi Lemon is a phenomenal receiver. It just doesn't make sense. I think they'll take Peter Woods. I'm not familiar with what's going on with Nnamdi Madubuike, but I mean, you could pick up Peter Woods, who's just a disruptor on the interior of the D-line. I think you take that. Now with the Buccaneers, there's one player on the board who just screams Buccaneer to me, and I have no clue why. But, I mean, Cassius Howell just screams that he will be a Buccaneer. I genuinely, I have no clue why. But he just feels like such a Buccaneers pick. They've tried swinging at the edge position so many times. Hassan Reddick didn't work out. They took Chris Braswell. That didn't really work out. They took someone else whose name is just... I can see his face. It's like his Madden picture. I feel like I traded for him or signed him in Madden last year. I don't know, but I can see his face. Source, trust me, bro. But yeah, I mean, they've taken a million swings at that position, it feels like, and it hasn't hit. And I think that taking Cassius Howell, he brings that kind of like high-end DPR kind of skill set. Like, he reminds me a little bit of like Mike Green last year. The Jets, I think they'll be in the market for Mekhi Lemon. I think Mekhi Lemon definitely makes sense for the Jets here. I mean, you take Ruben Bain at 2 and you get Mekhi Lemon at 16. That's a phenomenal draft. I mean, the Jets, you could go and like maybe Caleb Banks take an interior guy, but just take Mekhi Lemon and worry about the rest later. I mean, Mekhi Lemon's a phenomenal receiver. Listen, you have Garrett Wilson on roster. You have really no other receiver. You're in a position where it's okay to take Mekhi Lemon because you have really no quarterback set in stone for you. So just take the top guy available. Another water break. All right, we back. It feels like I just pounded an entire gallon of water, but I had to go handle some business, if you know what I'm saying. The Lions. Edge. Get Aiden Hutchinson some help that is not Al-Quadri Muhammad, okay? I get he is good, but he is a one-year rental kind of player. If you bring him back next year, you know, there's high parity there. You were a team trying to win. Go get Leather Helmet. Go get Akeem Mesidor. If you watch NFL Stock Exchange, you'll get it. Go get Akeem Mesidor. 100% feel like there's no better player to take right there. I mean, you could go corner Avion Terrell, but I mean, Avion Terrell, is he worth a top 20 pick? I don't think so. Vikings, I'm not even going to talk about it. I mean, Jeremiah Love. That makes too much sense. Jeremiah Love to the Vikings feels like Ashton Jeanty to the Raiders last year. It just feels like that is the spot that makes the most sense. Carolina Panthers, you could go receiver, but they just spent a first on Leggett, I want to say was the first. Was he the 30th pick? I don't know. But it doesn't feel like they're in a position where they'll spend another first round pick on a receiver. And I surely don't think they'll spend one on Boston or Concepcion. I think easiest pick in a hot minute, Caleb Banks. I mean, he's a baller. Do I think he's going to go top 15 like some people think he's going to rise up to? Absolutely not. But I think his athletic profile at 6'6", 330, great athlete, great pass rusher, holds his own in the run game. I think he's going to be such a good fold to Derek Brown. They like to move Derek Brown a lot. You can move Caleb Banks around too. If they retain Ajiro Evero, I think you will have a lot of fun scheming him, Banks, Scorton, Princely Umamielin as a DPR kind of guy. If you bring DJ Wallen back or you sign someone in free agency, the front four for the Panthers will be so fun. I mean, their linebacker unit still stinks, but I mean, the front four will be fun, so who cares? The Cowboys, they got to take edge here. I mean, earlier, you go Sonny Styles. Let's go boost your front seven. Go get TJ Parker. Through the Senior Bowl, TJ Parker's done a great job at kind of reviving his draft stock that he had preseason, where a lot of people thought he was a top 10, top 15 pick. Even some people had him as a top 5 guy preseason. The Steelers are one of the more interesting spots. I'm taking Max Anachor. He's my OT number 2. I know this is a predictive, but I think he will get himself into the back end of the first round. And you might say they have Broderick Jones, they have Troy Fontenot, who they both spent first round picks on. Broderick Jones is a guard. He is not good at tackle. And you have Troy Fontenot, who is a natural left tackle playing right tackle. Bump Broderick Jones to guard. Put Troy Fontenot at left tackle where he belongs, which I love Troy Fontenot, by the way. Favorite tackle in that draft class he was in. Put Max Anachor in at right tackle, and you're fine on that O-line. That O-line looks great. Now to the Chargers, another O-lineman. I'm not pronouncing that. Ioane. I know his last name's Ioane. Ola Ioane. I'm not pronouncing his full name. I'm sorry, dude. I'm a white guy. Like I don't got that sauce in me to pronounce your last name, bro. I apologize. The Eagles, I think they go a lot of different ways. The Eagles obviously did just win the Super Bowl last year. They're kind of in a weird spot now. But one player I really do like and I think would be a great fit for Jonathan Gannon's defense is Colton Hood. I mean, it was between him and Kenyon Sadiq. I mean, Dallas Goedert might be gone. I'm not too sure. I'm not too keen with that situation right now. He could be gone, but I mean, do you really draft Kenyon Sadiq at 23? Or do you go with like Colton Hood, who you think could be a good number 2 corner? Pair him up with Quinyon Mitchell, because obviously Adoree Jackson did not work out. Keely Ringo has yet to really work out. I mean, this hasn't really worked out yet. The Browns, we talked about this earlier, the drop-off from the top 3 to Concepcion. The pick here is going to be Casey Concepcion. I like him a lot more than Denzel Boston. I do like Denzel Boston a little bit, but I do like Casey Concepcion more, and I think he's a better fit. I think he's a more explosive guy, and I think that's the way they're going to go. The Bears, I was really between 2 players, Caden McDonald or Keldrick Folk. Personally, I think that Keldrick Folk is the better player and at the more valuable position. I think they've tried swinging at a couple of edge guys, and it just hasn't really worked yet. I mean, their big signing last year was Deo Odeyingbo, who got hurt, and then after that, it didn't really work out. But I think that him being healthy next year would definitely help. Keldrick Folk just feels like the kind of body type that the Bears would like on their front 4. Front 7 pick here for the Bills. We're going C.J. Allen. I just think that the Bills could really use some front 7 help, whether that's edge or linebacker. And with Keldrick Folk going the pick ahead of the Bills, I think C.J. Allen's the next best player that fits that kind of need for them. I think they would have loved to have Keldrick Folk. I think he kind of brings that like body type they like. They like those bigger guys like Gregory Rousseau or AJ Epinesa. They don't really care about so much your athleticism, in a straight line, things like that. You know, they like those big body guys on the outside, but that was more of a McDermott thing. So maybe that changes with, was it Jim Leonard they brought in the Broncos as a head coach and defensive pass game coordinator, I think. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Niners. This one just spoke to me very instantly. Denzel Boston. I mean, he is a type of guy who could easily take over John Jennings' spot. I mean, he's a big guy. He can play from the slot as a jumbo slot guy. Very big body. I love the fit. I mean, they just spent a first on Ricky Pearsall 2 years ago, but I like the receiver room they are building, and I think Denzel Boston would add a lot to that receiver room. Now we move to the Texans. The Texans are kind of in like not a super tricky spot, but a little bit of a tricky spot. I think Caleb Lomu very easily will be drafted in the first round. I just haven't gotten a read on where in the first round yet. I think he could be a top 20 pick. I'm just not sure yet. We are going to see the Rams here now with their second pick. I think I have an idea who I want them to take. I'm really between two guys. Monroe Freeling and Avian Terrell. I feel like corner is just such a big need for them. The fact that Avian Terrell is here at 29, I think you got to take him there. At 29, I think it's phenomenal value. And this is a dream scenario for me here. Kenyon Sadiq to the Broncos. Kenyon Sadiq could have went to the Eagles. I've seen some people mock him to the Dolphins. I would hate that for the Dolphins. I mean, you pass up on Tyler Warren last year, the more complete tight end at 13, to take Kenyon Sadiq this year, who's a less complete tight end, at a higher pick than you would have taken. Whatever. I'm going to leave that elsewhere. The Patriots, I think swinging for a guy who can play right tackle for you is a good idea. Morgan Moses is fine, but he is getting older. He's not getting younger. You need kind of a tackle. And I think that Caden Proctor is kind of seeing himself kind of leave the first round conversation. I think he will go first round just off of measurables and stuff like that. I didn't really find a spot for him in this mock. But a guy who's rising up is Monroe Freeling. And I think Monroe Freeling for sure could find himself in the first round. I think he kind of solidifying himself as a first round draft pick. And here's probably my favorite pick of this entire mock. Zion Young to the Seahawks. I just think that he fits the Seahawks very well. The Seahawks, you know, they don't need a crazy, like, impact player right now. They could take a swing on a guy like Zion Young, whose athletic profile and all those things maybe give you the inclination that he could become something very good. I mean, I thought about corner a little bit, but I'm like, it's a Senior Bowl episode. Let me get one more Senior Bowl guy in here in Zion Young. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more, subscribe, like. Catch y'all boys later. Bye.